Is it like a 360?
Yeah, it's a 360.
What?
It's nice to have a cocktail by the poolside, so I've done a special bar for you. This is what I got, and I'm not satisfied with one, so I want one more. Basically, I'm from India. I come from the north part of India. I'm still, I say, new to Kenya because I just came last November. But Kenya is being lucky for me. I just participated in world class. I got the title now. I'm representing a country. So it's a great feeling, and I hope and I'll, I'll give my 100% so that I can get something from South Africa to Kenya, to the country which has given me an opportunity to represent it. This world class gave me an opportunity to put myself behind the bars again and do what I like, what is my passion about. It has ignited the fire in me again for the bartending.
Okay.
And now I've started thinking again as a bartender, always thinking what can be used, how to make a drink, what should be the presentation, what are the unusual ingredients to use to pair up with some of the alcohol. If you're a good mixologist, you need to have your own creativity. Mixology is mixing different things all together to get up a nice cocktail. But if you're not good at mixology, you can't do that. While mixing drinks, you need to think of so many things in terms of which glass will be appropriate for a cocktail, what should be the garnish. If I'm using tequila, do I use another vermouth or another liqueur which goes well with tequila, or it will overpower, then tequila will go away from the cocktail. There are so many things you need to think of, and these things you can only think of when you know your product well. If I don't know the characteristics of tequila, I might use something else with that. That will, the other ingredient or the other liqueur will overpower, and tequila will be disappeared from the cocktail. So you can't call a cocktail a tequila cocktail, and you won't feel a tequila inside that. If I know I'm going for a competition, the first thing that comes in my mind is what brand I'm going to use. If I'm going to use apart from brand, most important is what spirit I'm going to use. Every spirit has its own characteristics. Whiskey is different. In terms of whiskey, single malt is different, blended is different, tequila is different, vodka is different, and every different vodka has its own characteristics. So what characteristics are in that alcoholic spirit, and what flavors are there which can go along with that? How do I put all that in one glass and in a well presented way? Apart from that, I need to know about that alcoholic spirit, what I am using. As a child, I always want to be an entrepreneur. Then, to be honest, I used to be very, not a studious guy. So after doing my +2, I just was thinking what to do. Suddenly, I just get into hotel management. Then, I wanted to be a chef. When I went to a training, most of my training I completed in kitchen.
Okay.
But then suddenly, when you are not from the industry or a beginner, you don't have that much patience, which industry needs. I used to be quite short-tempered while working and all. So suddenly I fought with one of my chef and I quit kitchen.
Okay.
And I went back to college.
Okay.
Then in 2004, we went for an outdoor catering. It was quite big, 3,500 people were there.
An Indian wedding, I
Indian
assume.
wedding. So you can imagine. I saw one guy there who was doing the bartending there. He was doing flaring and all, he was attracting us. So I interacted with him, I asked him what is the scope in bartending, how does it works, where do we get the professional course done from. So he was the one who was running the institute called Cocktails, and institute was IBOM.
Okay.
Institute of Bar Operation Management.
This is in India.
So I thought, let's go for it. Then I finally ended up going to an institute called Cocktails and Dreams.
Oh.
That institute was run by Mr. Yangdup Lama. He was a very well-known beverage consultant, mixologist around the world. Then I started freelancing.
As a bartender?
As a bartender.
Okay.
Then I used to do freelancing in Delhi on every Thursday, Friday and Saturday. That gives me more of experience in terms of mixing drinks, more of experience in terms of handling clients. I joined Taj hotels. There I started working in bars.
Okay.
And that was the one bar which taught me a lot in terms of clients handling, in terms of mixing new cocktails, because there we were free to do whatever we want to. We used to do fire flaring, we used to do flaring every day, mixing cocktails every day. So I started my bartending in terms of hospitality from there. Being a bartender, it is my job to make a drink which they like, or the guests like. Because working in the bar, you get different type of customers. Everyone has a different need. You make a drink for someone as per your taste, but he might not like it. They always look for your creativity. There are ample of people around the world. They're making good classic cocktails, but those competitions are not for those classic cocktails. If you're very good in theory or very good in classic cocktails, you could be a professor in any of the good college. These competitions look for creative bartenders, their creativity, their level of thinking in terms of pairing different flavors with alcohol, presentation, their story, and their product knowledge and their beverage knowledge. People are getting educated about drinking culture as well. Nowadays, there's no one like cocktails are not good. We don't drink cocktails, the drinks are better. If you go to a nice bar, all the bars must have their own creative cocktails as well on the menu, apart from classics, so that they can showcase what their bartenders are capable of. For the bartenders who are upcoming bartenders, I would just like to tell them one thing: stick to the basics. Your creativity is, of course, which will take you a level up, but basic remains the same. There's a rule: when we shake, the glass piece of the shaker should always face the bartender. The technical reason for that is the steel piece of the shaker is always bigger than the glass piece. If I'm shaking like this and the glass piece is towards me, if there is any spillage, it will come on me instead of going into the guest. There are few more, like you need to always hold the glass from the base, not from the center, not from the top. If you stick with your basics, use your brain, use unusual things, get ideas from wherever you can and implement that. That is what people are looking for nowadays. I'm still in touch with my mentor from Cocktails and Dreams. Wherever I get stuck, I give him a call, I ask him for guidance, and he's always there for me. I'm not a Kenyan, but I'm going to represent Kenya. But I thought, okay, this is the country who had given me an opportunity. I should give my 100% or even more than 100% to make people proud from this country.